Rupa, the social cook. So today we're going to make a shiitake mushroom broth. It's got quite Asian flavors. It's quite a staple in my house, but usually I use shimeji and enoki mushrooms as well as shiitake. But today I'm just basically fridge foraging till next week, until I do a bit of a shop again. So the only mushrooms I have in the house are portobello mushrooms, which are cut up, and just some button mushrooms that are cut slightly smaller as well. So we're going to begin by cooking off the portobello mushrooms. I'm going to try and make them a little bit crispy and just kind of create a little bit of a crispy, slightly more crisped mushroom to go on top. So I'm going to pop them in the pan. So I'm going to let them cook, and they're going to be on medium heat. And then in there, I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic. My garlic is slightly frozen. Oh, there we go, it's fine. So I said I'd keep my garlic, ginger, and green chili in the freezer. So I'm just going to let that, it feels like quite a dry pan, but that's okay. The water will come out shortly. Just add a little salt in there. And so I'm going to just keep them cooking in the pan for probably about 10 minutes. And then we're going to start on the onions. So I'm just going to pop a little extra oil because it does seem a little dry. And I'm going to pop in a little soy. You can hear that sizzle. So right guys, we are going to start on the onions. So this is going to create the base of the mushroom broth. So little oil again. Hopefully the pan is a little bit hotter this time. I'm just going to pop them in. So we're going to cook them down again until they're quite soft. And also I've got some shiitake mushrooms, they're dried ones. Also you can use fresh, but I just don't have them. But I've got shiitake mushrooms soaking, so they're rehydrated. So I'm basically just going to squeeze the water out, and then I'm going to cut them up and pop them in the pan with the onions. And then we're going to cook the onions for about 10-15 minutes, long and slow again. And we're going to keep deglazing the pan with a little water. You can use the shiitake broth water. So there we go. It's a good idea to strain the water out before you use it, because there might be a few little bits from the shiitake. So my onions have been cooking for about 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to add in my chopped shiitake mushrooms and just keep cooking them up. I'm going to transfer all of this into a large pan so that I can eventually start adding stock. But right now we're just going to keep cooking this. Right guys, we're in business. So I've deglazed the pan a couple of times. This has been cooking about 10-12 minutes. I mean, the longer you can cook it. I've cooked it half an hour and just kept deglazing. It just means that you just get more colour and more nuttiness from the shiitake mushrooms. And then again, the onions just get a little bit sweeter. So it just makes the broth that bit better. So now I'm going to add in the ginger, garlic and green chili. Lots of ginger, lots of garlic, probably about 4 or 5 cloves, and probably 1 green chili. Just put it in, mix it up. And today, I mean, basically I'm just adding lots of stuff from my fridge. I do change, I mean, I love anything when it comes to like a broth, a pho, a ramen, any sort of brothy, soupy, Asian-y liquid I love. So, I'm going to add in, just to supercharge it for our immune systems, I've got a bit of turmeric, fresh turmeric. So I'm just going to add just a little bit in. Be careful, it really stains everything. That in. Again, it's getting a little stuck, so I'm going to add a little bit of the mushroom, shiitake mushroom stock. Cook it for another 2 minutes. It's got a little, quite a yellow colour now. So now we're going to start adding everything else in. So the other mushrooms that I had, I've just chopped up small. I'm going to add them in. Cook them for just about a minute. I mean, the broth will, the hot liquid will kind of cook them through more anyway. And then I had some Chinese cabbage in my fridge, so I'm just going to pop that in. And I found some frozen coriander in the freezer, so I'm going to add that in as well. So I'm going to start adding the liquid. I have a bone broth here. You can actually use stock if you want, homemade stock, which I sometimes make. But I've got a bone broth from a little deli, so I'm just going to add that in. And then I'm going to also add the rest of the mushroom liquid. And I've boiled the kettle, so I'm just going to add a little bit more liquid in there. Give it a good stir. I've used chicken stock, but obviously you can make this completely vegan and use a vegetable stock as well. It's looking really lovely. Quite yellow because of the turmeric. Sorry you can't see it, I might just show you. If you can see that. And then we're going to start adding the extra kind of umami flavors in there. So that is with soy. So, I mean, again, I'm not measuring it, but I would say like you want about 2 tablespoons to start off with. I think it's like a taste, you keep tasting it to just check. So 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 actually. And then I've got mirin here. And that kind of gives a little bit of sweetness. So I would say probably again 2 tablespoons. I'm going to try it now and I'm going to let you know. And then I've got this. It's kecap manis. It's an Indonesian sweet soya sauce. And again, it just gives that extra little sweetness. You just want like a teaspoon of that one. And if you don't have it, it's fine. I'm going to give it a little stir. And I'm going to give it a little try. Oh yeah, that's good. Spicy. Obviously you can put less chilies if you're not into the spice, but that's actually, you don't need anything else in that so far. I am going to add just a little tiny rock salt, but I mean, you don't need much because it's already got quite a lot of saltiness from the soy sauce. And then I'm going to start plating up. So I'm going to use cucumber, coriander, and we're going to put it all in a bowl. Right, we're ready to start plating up. So I've got some of the noodles. I've got some brown rice noodles, but you can use white if you want to. So I'm going to pop that in the bottom of the bowl. I've got the mushroom broth that I'm just going to put on top. Lots of the broth. And then just to kind of create a little bit more freshness, I'm going to cut up some thin bits of cucumber. There's literally nothing more comforting for me than a bowl of hot Asian soup. So I'm going to just add that all in. And you'll be amazed by how nice the cucumber is in there. I'm going to cut up some spring onion. I've got the mushrooms behind me that I need to add. So I've done long strips of spring onion. If you're not an oniony fan, then you don't need them. So I've got the big mushrooms here. I'm just going to add them in and they'll create a bit more bite. And then I'm going to put some more coriander. The spring onion. And then I'm just going to chop up, because I like the colour, but again, it's spicy already. I am a sucker for more spice, so I always add a little extra. So there we go. I have made you basically my kitchen, my fridge foraged mushroom broth. And I hope you like it. I mean, you can just add anything. If you've got broccoli, if you've got Brussels sprouts, if you've got spinach, just add anything to supercharge that broth. And it's mostly the soy sauce and the mirin that really intensifies the flavour. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.